So I am making this video kind of for myself to see if it works, and then also in case you wanted to use it for some thoughts on how to set up a video for students. So what I have that you're looking at, this right here, is just a set of notes that I use. I'm just going to go through the first 4 slides because that's what I would usually do for an intro day. I'm going to try to pace my class the same as I normally would, which means that it's not going to be 50 minutes of instruction because by the time you take attendance and they all sit down and you get stuff out and you do instruction, you answer questions and you get off topic and whatnot, I know about how much we cover each day in a given lesson, and I'm covering that same amount. I'll also, if we really do go out, probably look at my schedule again and figure out like how many slides I need to cover each day or what amount of material. Again, keeping in mind that the amount students recall off of a situation like this is just so small compared to what they recall when you're teaching them. So, okay, so I would talk about the intro for the behavior of gases. Before I start the presentation, I would want to make sure that I had gone through the different groups. It's interesting because it's hard to change. It's harder to change slides than I expected it to be. And so I may want to move my picture in picture from slide to slide, or you may want to set that up before you go. So if I knew, for example, I was doing this slide and this one, see now I'm in the wrong spot again, and this one, maybe I want to change my zone. So I'm just taking my white and red little thing and I'm going to move it. Maybe if I can get it in the corner. But regardless, do you want to just kind of keep moving your face so that you're not blocking your words? So I would take them through this intro. When we move down to the second slide, this one is review about things they're supposed to know. And then at a certain point, I am going to ask them questions. And so maybe I would ask you a question right now, like, what do you think compressibility is? Or why don't you look in your book and read me the definition of compressibility? And then I'm going to load this video in a moment into Edpuzzle, and I'd be able to stop right now. And you would have had to answer the question on what is compressibility and type in the definition. That's how I'm making sure that you are doing what I'm asking you to. Edpuzzle also makes sure they watch the whole video. It doesn't let them skip around. And so it's a good like kind of monitoring device if you wanted to use that. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the third thing here. This is looking at pressure, and so I would explain this. I would talk about it. I would give some examples. I might say like, how could you increase the amounts of pressure? Maybe I want to put this in presentation mode so that these items fly in, these ones. These are the 3 different options. Or maybe I'm just going to provide the answers to them since this is a different kind of lecture. I might say like, how would you change the volume of a container? What is a container where the volume can change? And I would say a balloon, you know. And so we might talk about that. And then finally, I have an assignment for them. So what I want them to do, and I'm just going to take my face off of this now, I think. Yeah, I am. Yep. So I would take my face off of this, and now I can say, okay, so I want you to read this part of your book, 414 to 417, and I want you to fill in this information. And then I might decide to go ahead and move, we should move the answers away. Maybe I'm going to ask them a question on Edpuzzle, but I think actually what I'm going to do for this particular one is I will have provided them this chart, the same chart on Google Classroom, and I will want them to fill it in themselves and then send it to me via Google Classroom. That would be their assignment for the day. So that's a reading assignment for the day. I would have this video with Edpuzzle. I would have possibly a question in the Google Classroom. If I do end up posting this to the Learning Commons Google Classroom, I will include a discussion question in there so that you can see how that might work. And really just try to engage the students in a way where they can interact with me, but where it's a little bit different for them where I'm not just trying to mimic the classroom, because I really don't think that that's going to be a very viable solution for me anyway, in my classroom. So this is about 5 minutes. That's where I'd want to max out. I'm going to stop it and hopefully make an Edpuzzle.